In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host or gatekeeper of this program, known here on social media, wherever you may find me, around the world. I am known as the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snupnup 7. I am your soul brother, number one. I would like to take a few minutes to sincerely and honestly say thank you to all those to have shown concern for myself, the welfare of myself, since this incident, whereas, my mother was called out of her name and there was threats against my life and doing me bodily harm. And when you heard about these things happening, there were more than I would think of you, because my telephone number is public. And a lot of times I don't answer the telephone, cell phone, but I just decided to answer these calls. And it was many of you out there in the listening audience. You just wanted to know if your brother was all right. From the telephone calls to emails, I must say it was undescribable, your concern for my welfare. I have been on YouTube 11 years, and probably for at least 9 straight years, somebody at some time wished to threaten my life. And since my telephone number is public, there are some who call that number just to say, call me a name, death threats, and so forth, for the whole 9 years. In fact, I have experienced worse than what is going on right now. When you are in the position that I'm in, I have 2 enemies that I have to deal with. Of course, as you know, the primary enemy is what we call white supremacy or pink supremacy. That's the primary enemy. For me, the next enemy, and this enemy is not intentional. This enemy was raised because, or it was made due to our trying to find an identity, because we were a people who had no identity. Now we have many identities. There's not just one. We are Black Muslim, we are Hebrew Israelite, we are Kemetic. The list goes on and on and on. There is no definite, there's no specific. And this brings confusion. And in the Quran, the God, Allah, tells us, I am not the author of confusion. When the mind becomes confused, then you become what we call insane. And so that is what we have here today, insanity. And when one comes before the insane to bring them reality, there is a rejection of reality, because insanity has become reality. these teachings, these pro-black, Afrocentric, whatever teachings many of our people are involved in, has caused good people to become insane. Their thinking process is not clear. Their mind is 5,000 years where they never existed. 3,000, 2,000 years. They are part of the tribe of Shabazz, of people you cannot prove ever existed. You're waiting for spaceships to come out the sky. You're the chosen people of something. These ideas that we have in our head is fictional. Some God or some spirit, something is going to come save you. We're not looking at things real. We have a fictional view of what revolution is. We have a fictional view of what freedom and justice is. We have a fictional view of what Africa is. This is why the Black Panther movie was so popular, because that Black Panther movie fits into the fantasy of many of those who look at that continent as some savior, as some utopia in the past, when it has, common sense tells us it never was. Because if it was, you would see signs of it now, but you don't. So my enemy, I have two enemies. Of course, the first enemy is Caucasian supremacy, white supremacy. And my second enemy became an enemy not on purpose, but it has, because it has now tainted, it has poisoned the mind of so many of our people. And what has happened, they truly believe that this is the way to go. Insanity, in confusion. This pro-black, Afrocentric stuff, teachings. I know how you think, because at one time I was you. I didn't know no better. But the difference between myself and many of these persons out here is that I think for myself. And I was able to see these teachings for what they really are. And what they really are is nothing but white supremacy in blackface. Black Muslim teachings is nothing but white supremacy in blackface. Black supremacy is nothing but white supremacy in blackface. The Hebrew teachings, the Moor, all of it ain't nothing but white supremacy and blackface. A slave only knows what his master teaches him. And master gave you this information and you ran with it. That's what happened. And you don't understand, looking for a way to identify. Give yourself some type of identification. And your master understood that as long as you were confused, as long as we are confused, you would think that you're doing something to liberate yourself, when the reality is you're becoming more and more of a slave. Why you think with all the thousands, it's thousands of people with this pro-black, black Muslim, Moor, Hebrew, whatever, RBG, Pan-African, whatever you are, it's thousands who think this way, but yet and still, why aren't you liberated? Why doesn't your condition change? Because what you don't understand is that you still are an Oreo cookie. You still are a dark European. And you think because now that your vanilla ice cream cone is covered with chocolate icing, whatever they put on ice cream, you think that you're not a vanilla ice cream cone. But you are. You're still a vanilla ice cream cone. You just layer it with chocolate. But you're not chocolate. You're still vanilla. I am called a liar. I am called a con man, a deceiver, and so many things. But the reality is, if you ask these persons who are making these accusations, can they prove that? They cannot tell you anything, because I have not done anything to none of these persons or anyone. I have not lied to you. I have not deceived you. You're angry because of your own actions. You decided to steal the concept that came from this rostrum and take it for yourself. You decided to do that. You decided when you was offered an opportunity to debate the change, you declined over and over and over again. But then you began to see that you don't have the support that you thought that you was getting. And you saw that the brothers were still coming to my channel. Even Brother Alquan. Brother Alquan made a video about me or whatever. I don't trip off YouTube video. It was a brother that bashed me the day before I made my video lecture. He was there, and Alquan was there, and all of us was laughing and talking. And then this brother show up, and he wants to debate or be confrontational. I was not going to do that. You had an opportunity over and over again to debate the change that you made on my idea. So it's really not up to debate. You want me to debate my own concept. There's nothing for us to debate, really. But even so, the day before, I was asked to join the live conversation, and I was just ignored. So I mean, come on, you can't, you're angry at your own actions. You declined this debate over and over again. You had an opportunity on the video that you made right the day before my video lecture. I was there in the chat room. I know you had to see me, and you just ignored me. But when you seen this camaraderie of brothers, you want to join and become part of it. And now you're angry because you was not allowed to do that. You was not allowed to come, and so that you can holler and scream at me because you have nothing to debate at all. I have been studied. I have been studied for over 10 years. And those who have studied me will tell you I'm not a liar, I'm not a con man, none of these different things. You can say those things out of anger and being upset, but you can't prove those things. I am your brother, and that's what I'm going to be. I don't hate people for no reason. You did not do anything to me. I'm not going to hate you. Hate you for what? You haven't done anything to me. I have grown up since I was 18 years old. When I was 18 years old, I thought just like these people. I thought just like the RBG, these Pan-African, Umar Johnson and this brother. I thought just like that myself. But I was young. I didn't know any better. And I was angry because I was learning of all these atrocities that happened to dark-skinned people in this country. But since that time, and because I can think for myself, and I have matured a lot, and I understand the reality of the situation that I'm in, I cannot no longer roll with these teachings, these Afrocentric, pro-black, black conscious, whatever you want to call it. These teachings are immature, and they are nothing but white supremacy and blackface. All of them, all of it. They were born and created by people who were ignorant at the time, based on their limited knowledge, in their ignorance. They wasn't trying to do these things on purpose, but they were just doing the best they can with the knowledge that they had at that time. But again, I thank you so much for your concern. Thanks for the telephone calls. Thanks for the emails. Thanks for showing your brother love. I'm all right. And I assume I will continue to be all right. And we will continue to try to get this train on its tracks, and let's get moving. As Dr. Cornelius always say, I wish us love, peace, and soul.